Hi, okay, we're going to go over these trend arrows a little bit. Come to profittrading.com if you want futures trend arrows. Just click on the futures trends there under trend arrows. And basically, blue is uptrend, red is downtrend, black, the trend may be close to turning, and I'll explain that here in a second. So, right now, all these markets, I pretty much am comfortable with where the arrow's pointing on all these. Um, and the ones that have black arrows are coffee and crude oil. Um, So let's go look at those charts real quick and we'll see why. Now here's coffee. Now see, here's why I like this black arrow idea, because there was a lot of times in the past I tried to do these arrows and I would have like a red arrow and I'd be saying to myself, boy, this looks like this coffee is bottoming here, I mean, but yet I'd have the downtrend arrow and I always was thinking I should have this market as close to a turn or something on there. So that's what the black arrow is going to kind of tell you. It's going to be for a market like this. Um, the trend is definitely still down in coffee. Obviously, we're hitting new low here, so the trend's down. But yet we've had this hammer candlestick, kind of a reversal bar, and we've had these sideways bars. And to me, it just looks like coffee's going to turn. So I want to kind of have a way to convey that, and that's the black arrow. That's saying this market may be at a bottom. It may have put in a bottom. It may have put in the bottom, but is testing the bottom. Well, however you want to say it, it's close to a bottom. And now that's not saying coffee might not go down a bunch tomorrow. Like have a big wide range bar down. That's why the arrow stays down. But I want to let you know that I think the market is going to turn in this area, and why that would be helpful to you if you have some kind of turning point system or some kind of entry point or short term thing you're using. And then if I say it looks like the market's going to turn, and that goes along with what you're looking at on your end technically, because everybody's got their own little technical systems, technical things, and so you might be able to use that with what you're doing. Okay, now what was that other market that I had a black arrow on? It was coffee, and it was, come on, Jim, think. We'll go back and look. Crude. I should have known. Crude. Man, I need to make notes before I do these videos. Gosh. Anyway, crude. I'm kind of doing these off the top of my head. Um, okay, now here's the deal with crude too. It's making a little like kind of double bottom pattern here. To me, it just looks like crude is coming into a bottom, and it's making a bullish divergence. But you know what happens when you try to start calling a bottom? The thing will just keep going right on down. That's why divergences are so dangerous. They're great when they work, and when they don't work, they can get you into trouble. So on crude, I still like the idea of having like a black arrow saying the trend is down, obviously, because we're closing at a new low, but this thing looks like it might be at a market low. So that's what the black arrow is telling you. Now, like say here, if we went short, if I went a red arrow, and because of the market started a downtrend, crude, that it would be a red arrow for sure. So again, and a red arrow would have probably been all the way down to around here. But once it starts doing this, I'm thinking this thing could be at a bottom. Now this could just be a little bear flag, and then it could continue lower. But again, I'm still working on these arrows. I mean, I'll always be trying to improve them. So if crude did start trending lower again, I'd change the arrow from black to red. But right now, I've been pretty good at calling the turns, which again, that's not always going to work. But right now, the arrows are working pretty good the way I have them. I'm pretty much going to be short during all these nice down moves, and this is the way trend arrows are going to work. They're going to be choppy at times. There's going to be times when you're going to follow them, and they're just going to be like working 100%, because the markets will be in a trend or something. And there's going to be times when the markets might be choppy and they won't be so great. But the whole point of these arrows is just to give you another tool, to give you something that works more often than it doesn't work, which is what we're looking for in trading. I mean, if I can get them 80% right, that's pretty doggone good. And again, you use it with the other things you're using, and I think it will be a great help to you. And follow them for a while and see what you think. And if you got any feedback, send that in. I mean, I'll be glad to hear. I'm always going to be working to improve them, but I think this is going to be a big. To be honest with you, I think this is going to be a pretty big deal and a pretty good thing. So we'll see how it goes. Thanks for listening to my video, Jim.